Hey, everybody. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Tuesday. I used to do these podcasts on Monday. So, today I want to talk to you guys about why you guys get all stuck in your learned identity. And when you operate from that place of learned identity, which is the first element of the alkaline method, it draws attention back to the foundation. Here's the thing, you guys. As you guys know, I've been a practitioner for over 20 years doing what in the physical medicine space as a doctor of physical therapist, and in the nutritional space in the hospital, as well as in wellness centers, weight loss centers, and all of the above in the public health setting as a registered dietitian. And I've been all over the map in learning different strategies, including functional medicine through the Institute of Functional Medicine, as well as Pilates and yoga and everything else in between. So I used to be called somebody who was jack of all trades, master of none. But it was really my curiosity to get my health in order that had me seeking all the answers outside of me. Now, having said this, my educational background in psychology, nutrition, and physical therapy, functional medicine, even yoga, as well as traditional Chinese medicine, and all the above kind of brings me back to only 25% of what I needed to piece together the puzzle, big puzzle in our healthcare, in our broken healthcare system. Really, what I call the alkaline method allows me to finally pull all the pieces of the missing puzzle together in a cohesive way to try to make sense of something that are so nonsensical. And I can tell you from a patient to patient that if you seek the answers outside of you and you expect some other expert or physicians, doctors, or whatever practitioners to fix you or heal you, you've got it all wrong. You'll never heal. I promise you. That was what was foundationally and fundamentally wrong with our healthcare system. It's a band-aid approach, right? Healing can only happen from the inside out. And too many of you guys are stuck in this learned identity, and you guys habituate this suffering cycle over and over again. How do I know? I'm a patient just like you, and it took me a full ride. It took me 18 years to finally come to term with the fact that it was my held identity, my learned and false believed identity about myself that kept me in this cycle of suffering and sickness for so long. And my mission through the work that I do is to get these disempowered, sick patients to an empowered, healthy rebel state so that they take the power back from the inside out and take full responsibility for the health that they're creating in their lives. Recognizing that it is up to them, it is up to you to figure out exactly what you're perpetuating on a day-to-day, not recognizing that you're the one playing into perpetuating your sick cycle. And if you don't recognize that to be true, then you're always going to be seeking what's outside of you. And you're going to be in it for a long ride. And it's going to be a frustrating journey and an expensive one at that. So the sooner you come to realize that the power is within you, the healing powers, and recognizing the operating system by which you live your life that is under the radar, which means it's completely blinding you. You don't even recognize the very foundation. It's almost like you're sitting on the very chair, and the chair is what's wrong with the whole picture. And you don't recognize, because that's the most obvious thing. It's the foundation by which it supports you, and that foundation is really wrong. And sometimes I've had to do this myself too. And many thousands of patients that I served was sometimes we have to do the hard thing of really recognizing and becoming aware of what's not serving us. And it does take us or require us to uproot our roots from where we are to plant the seeds somewhere else so our roots can now have a better foundation and soil that actually supplies everything that we need so that we can have all the nice branches or healthy branches and leaves, and flowers can bloom from there. But so as long as you're in the foundational belief and identity that you keep holding on to and not recognizing that, and not recognizing that that's the soil by which is killing your branches and the leaves of your tree, then that's always going to have you in this sick place. And you're the one who's choosing to be stuck in that place. And really, why I call this a transformational self-healing journey is because we have to sometimes uproot to get us to a better place. And unless we see that the very root by which we are standing on, or the foundation by which that we're standing on is not right, and we don't even know that that is, sometimes it does take, all our efforts to move us in a position that's going to optimize our health and life. And I get it, you guys. Change is hard and it comes in different forms. And sometimes what we think is our identity, if it's not serving us, it's time for us to really take a closer look and look in the mirror. Doing this work for so long, I realize that unless you have a trusted source that can pierce through whatever it is that you are hiding, because most of us have a lot of repressed emotions and memories, a lot of guilt and shame and fear and anxiety that drives us in everything that we do currently, so much so that that's become a habituation, meaning habits are those things we do every day, day in and day out, not even recognizing that that's what we do by default. It's the easiest path. It's the path of least resistance, because we tend to really like and be addicted to suffering and unnecessary suffering and struggles. And we're almost married to that. That's all we know. To think and uproot and recreate the life that we want and get rid of all the symptoms, it seems unfathomable. It's actually very much a possibility, but it can't happen until you believe that to be true. So I want you guys to think about your brain as a physiological system. Your brain is physiology, right? You've got the frontal lobes, temporal lobe, occipital lobes. We've got the reptilian brain. We've got the, hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal glands, all the things that we can name that's tangible, right? We can touch, we can really palpate, and we can dissect, we can measure, right? But your thoughts and your feelings gives us energy, right? It gives us a different vibrational frequency. And in traditional Chinese medicine, that's called the meridian channels in our body. And in Ayurveda, in the yogic culture or belief systems or medical system, it's called nadi channels. It's the energy by which that allows us to really physiologically function. Like, as you're sitting here watching me or listening to me, your heart is beating. And I guarantee you're not telling your heart, beat, 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 beat. Like, we're not voluntarily telling it to do what it does. It just does what it does because we have electrical impulses that it exists in our body through our brain, right? Everything's electrical. And that passage of force, if you will, through the vessel, which is our tangible medium. This is our cellular makeup, right? However way you look, this is something that we can measure. But the thoughts and feelings is outside. It's something that we feel, right? Thoughts trigger our feelings, and really feelings are important. Feelings of shame, feelings of anxiety, feelings of guilt, feelings of hatred, anger, all the negative feelings has a negative physiological impact, right? And when we think something over and over again, it creates the feelings or it triggers the feelings that then has a physiological effect in our bodies, and it perpetuates this cycle. Absent of negative thoughts and feelings, our physiology, the way we are created by default, is in a state of well-being and balance. You have to remember that, to recognize what you're thinking and feeling is your voluntary. It's what you're conditioned to do. And so when I work with my patients, I realized there was a deeper meaning behind why they do what they do, why they think, why they feel. And it was all based on illusions. And it's not the truth, but it's what their beliefs are. And those beliefs need to be challenged to be shifted towards the direction that you want to create better thoughts and feelings so that you have a better physiological impact. Because here's the thing, your thoughts and your feelings, they trigger or they drive your actions or inactions. Actions towards the thing that serves you and actions towards the thing that doesn't serve you. It's cupcake or green juice, cupcake or green juice. And you see this all the time. When we're in a state of anxiety or anger or sadness, we want a tub of ice cream. We want a cupcake. When we're stressed to the max, we crave sugar, something good, a quick fix, something quickly pleasant, right? But when we're in the state of well-being, only then do we want to help to serve us, right? But the problem is that in your very identity and beliefs that you hold, it's almost always those beliefs about yourself that is negative. So a lot of us have issues of self-loathing, self-disregard, and self-disrespect, so much so that we make everybody else more important than what we think. And in fact, nobody ever asked you from when you were little what you think, right? We were told what to believe. We were indoctrinated into knowing what to do, right? Even as learned as I am, I have my doctoral degree. I was taught how to think. I was taught how to behave. I was taught how to be compliant. It's all about the rules and regulations to behave a certain way. It's conditioned way to be. It doesn't matter if it's efficient. It doesn't matter if it's effective. It's just the way it's always been done. And it isn't until I began to question those very old archaic ways that I was able to produce a better method I called the Alkaline Method, to finally bring all the pieces of the puzzle together to make patients whole from a disempowered sick state to an empowered healthy state, right? And that's the direction that we want to go. And I know as a practitioner, I can't do that unless my patients are on board with whatever it is that I'm doing. In fact, whatever I know to be true, my dogmatic approaches, my tactical ways of being or of doing what I do in functional medicine, yoga, physical medicine, nutrition, all the things, it makes up only 25% of the 100% of the equation. So it wasn't until I was able to take a step back and really look at, absent of any ego or self-importance of what I think I know, unless I walked away from it and I recognize the sheer importance of having this human experience and recognizing the subconscious mind piece of the element as well as the conscious mind, and then where we're going to shift the identity from an undesirable to a desirable state, only then was I able to apply all the knowledge that I have without resistance to make it super easy, and everything becomes a collective whole. And then you continue to evolve on into the fourth element, which is timeless wisdom. So to recap, 4 elements of the Alkaline Method that we utilize in going through the health transformation from a disempowered sick state to an empowered healthy state is first to recognize the subconscious identity of who you are. That's the subconscious mind piece of the element. of the alkaline method. And second element is the conscious mind. Third element is the modern medicine piece, where nutrition, physical medicine, functional medicine, holistic medicine, all the things. And then finally, you come to the fourth element, which is the timeless wisdom piece. That's the spiritual growth and evolution, and the continuum of this cycle over and over again needs to be addressed in a holistic way to make you whole. This is what you do. You need to partake in this to be empowered. You need to become the empowered health rebel that you are and begin to elevate your being so that you can expand your mind to the possibilities and be empowered in creating your best life possible. That's really the work, right? That's the transformative work that you need. It's not about another diet. It's not about another supplement or adaptogen, herbals, or another holistic approach or another acupuncture session. Nothing happens without the internal shift. And that's really what I wanted to emphasize in our session today. I hope that you found this to be very insightful and really recognize this as your truth. And really, you guys, it's really the alkaline method allows you a pathway to a self-healing journey. Because no matter how much I know and no matter how much I think I might be the expert, I can't fix you until you begin your own internal journey. And that shift can only happen from an inside out. I can only guide you to the right place, but really you have to do the work. And this is where I really want you to be a part of this movement. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. You'll see the link down below, as well as you can find me at Lupus Rebel, as well as Autoimmune Health, Tribe of Autoimmune Health Rebels. It's a private Facebook where we have elevated conversations and we don't dwell in any self-negative or self-pity parties. We don't do any of that. We're all about elevating ourselves to a better place constantly. It's really work to do that, but it's worthwhile work to find yourself and to have power, that inner power that you stand on. That's the most important gift and the best gift that I can share with you. So I hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys all soon. Thanks for tuning in.